Good evening, everybody. Let me just get set up. um, Good. Happy Monday. It's 7 o'clock, so on a Monday. So that means that Dr. Hunt is here doing his NGW lives, his No Guesswork lives. So welcome everybody. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes. We got an interesting topic tonight, so we'll see. A lot of people have been asking me to talk about this, so I figured it's a good time to talk about it now. Let me just give a couple more seconds. What's up, Haas? So tonight's topic is gonna talk about what we always talk about, which is weight management, but some of the tools that we use in weight management. So tonight's topic is medications that we use in weight management to help you get to your weight loss goals. Now, medications are not necessarily for everybody. In my practice, we offer medications to people because by the time they get to me, they have already tried a lot of different modalities. So we offer medications to them if it's appropriate. The thing about medications is that we know so much more about weight management, which is why these medications help, because we tend to think that weight management is all about willpower and it's the person's fault why they can't get to a healthier weight. And if you've listened to me enough, and I hope I can convince you enough, weight management is not a willpower disease. And if you've read the book, if you read No Guesswork book, you would, hopefully I explained it well enough in the book to prove that weight management is not a willpower disease. It has a lot to do with physiology and your appetite center in your brain that helps regulate the amount of calories that you store, basically. And so we all need calories in order to live. And so your body has a set point, and we talked about the set point, where it regulates the calories in your body and the stored calories in your body, and they're stored in fat cells. And so your body tightly regulates that because it needs that stored energy just in case there was, let's say, a famine, which we don't live in a country that there's a lot of famine, but before there was refrigeration, before there were supermarkets, all these things, you needed that stored fat in order to survive because you didn't know where your next meal was going to come from, and you didn't know if you were going to have the calories in order to survive. And so our bodies are designed in such a way that the mechanism was brilliant. Like, you carry around stored calories just in case you can't eat or there's no food available. You can access the stored calories in your body. The problem is the way we've evolved, we have gotten to a point genetically that we can store calories infinitely, and we can continue to grow and grow and grow. This is where shows like My 600-Pound Life come from. So we can continue to store calories infinitely if allowed to. But because we've studied these things, we know how to regulate your hunger and your cravings. And so most of the medications that people wanted me to talk about have to do with regulating your hunger and cravings. And so We're gonna go through a few of them, and I'm gonna try to keep it high level so it won't be all into the weeds and get a little confusing. So the medications that we use work in your brain, and some of them actually work in your stomach. And the reason is because the goal is to make you not hungry, make you not crave, and make you feel full quicker or sooner. And so one of them, people remember the medication, the most popular one actually is phentermine. And it used to be a part of this medication called fen-phen. And some of the, some people that a little about my age, they probably remember fen-phen, and it was like a big craze, and everybody was on fen-phen. And then there were a lot of complications from fen-phen because one of the drugs in that combination drug was fenfluramine, and that one affected your heart. And so they took that off the market. But phentermine is still around, and phentermine was not the culprit for all the things that were happening with the side effects with the heart. And so phentermine is generic, and it happens to be the most prescribed weight loss medication. And it works in your brain. The way it works is it decreases your cravings and hunger. And so we use phentermine to help people get a grip or a control over their cravings and hunger. Now, people talk about side effects to medications, and the phentermine is more of a active medicine, so it's more of it's a stimulant, if you will. It comes from it's derived from the amphetamine class of medications, which are like medicines that you see young like kids on for ADHD or even adults, like Adderall, Ritalin, those kinds of things. And so it's not the same thing as that, but it is derived from those medicines. So it's a good medication to use if you need to help with cravings and hunger, because your body has a set point, as I mentioned, and when you deviate from that set point, your body will try to bring you back to your set weight. And the way it does it is by making you more hungry and then crave more, and then it decreases the hormones in your body that make you feel satisfied and make you feel satisfied, basically. And so what it does, it will increase the ghrelin, and the ghrelin, as you know, I like to call it the hunger gremlin, tenfold, and decrease your satiating or your hormones that make you feel satisfied to zero. And so now you're feeling all this hunger and craving, and nothing makes you feel satisfied. And so that's a part, at least, of the mechanism of how your body works to get you back to your set point. And when you get back to your set point, your body settles down. It decreases the ghrelin back to normal, and then increases the satiating hormone so that you can level out. Because your body also doesn't want you to overshoot from your set point. It wants you to be right in that sweet spot, right in that happy medium. And so it will change the levels of the hormones in your body. And in fact, if you were to take, we've done studies where you take a mice or the rat models, and you stick a catheter in their brain and you infuse ghrelin, the mice will eat the feed, eat it until they vomit. Like I said, jokingly, rats don't vomit, but the point is that they would eat until they couldn't eat anymore. You take that same catheter and you put it in the brain and you block ghrelin, they will stare at the feed, stare at the feed, stare at the feed until they starve to death. And if I was able to put catheters in all of your brains, I could control your hunger and cravings just the same way. But obviously we can't do that. But and so so some of these medications are helpful in order to help you with cravings and hunger, so that you can have a better control over the choices that you make on food. So phentermine is a really popular drug that a lot of people know about, and so we use it in our clinic when appropriate. Another medication that we use is something called the GLP-1. And there are commercials for these drugs. These medications are actually diabetes drugs. And there's liraglutide or semaglutide and all these different drugs that we actually use for diabetes. The trade names for one of them is Victoza, the other one is Ozempic. So these drugs, these medications, in this class of medications, we found that it actually helps with weight loss. And so you may see a commercial that says, oh, you can actually lose weight. And one of these medications is already approved for weight loss. And another one is seeking approval as we speak. And the way these medications work, this is one of your satiating hormones. One of the hormones that I said that makes you feel satisfied. Because when you lose weight, your body, again, trying to get you back, so you never feel satisfied because your body is decreasing your naturally occurring satiating hormones, the hormones that make you feel satisfied, to zero, so that you don't feel satisfied. And so now we can give them back to you, and so that we can help to control your levels and block that pesky ghrelin or gremlin so that you do feel satisfied or hunger. So one of the ways that it works is that it works in your brain to shut off your cravings and hunger and block ghrelin so you won't be hungry. And the other way it works is that it slows your stomach down so that you feel full quicker when you eat. And so I like this medication because it works in a number of ways and helps you get control over your cravings and hunger. And so that is another medication in our armamentarium of meds that we can use if we need them. But again, these medications don't work by themselves. You still need to put in some effort. I tell people all the time that you can't just take a medicine blindly and just think the weight's just gonna fall off of you. Like, you still need to follow a low carb diet. You know, these medications will help you not want to eat something, but if it's in front of you and you decide to eat it anyway, even if you don't want it, these medications are not going to stop that. And so we like to tell people to be mindful of the fact that now you have control. These medications have helped you gain some control, and then you can navigate from there. And people always say, well, how long do I have to stay on these medicines? And I tell them it depends on the person. It's like, I liken it to an antidepressant. If you have anxiety or depression, we might put you on a medication, and then 6 to 9 months we might reassess and say, well, hey, how you doing? And you may say, you know what, I'm in a good space right now. I want to stop the medication. And so we would stop the medication. Same with a drug for your weight. But we would monitor you, and if we notice that your weight went up, or we notice that the depression or anxiety came back, we may decide to put you back on the medication. And it goes the same with the weight loss medication. If we needed to restart it, we would. It's not a problem. And you might say that, well, some people say that, you know what, I absolutely don't want to go back. I absolutely don't want to go back to the way I was feeling. I don't ever want to get off this antidepressant. And so I just want to stay on it. And you can safely stay on these antidepressants, just like you can safely stay on these medications, because the other thing about them is that these medications are used for diabetes. So people are on them anyway for long periods of time because of their diabetes. And then there's other medications that we use. There's another medication that's FDA approved that it's a combination of actually Wellbutrin and something called naltrexone, and it's called Contrave, and together it's in one pill. And so we use that medication as well, and that's a pill. And so we have a number of medications that are available now, and there are a number of medications on the horizon. There's another one that's coming out that's actually already FDA cleared, and it's used to be, it's like fiber. It's really cellulose, and it actually is a space occupying kind of a thing. So it, in your stomach, it fills up half of your stomach. So when you eat, you feel full quicker, and it's a fiber, so it just goes through your stomach, small intestines, large intestines, and comes out in your stool. So it's a lot of new, exciting things on the horizon that can help manage your weight, because and we shouldn't think of it as a cop out or as, oh, I should be able to do this on my own, or because, like I tell people all the time, my umbrella story is, if it's raining, let's use an umbrella. And once you get things together, we can always take the umbrella down. Like you shouldn't have to go through the storm without an umbrella. And you should want to get to a healthier weight. And you should want to help your diabetes. The longer you're not at a healthier weight, the longer you're hurting your body. And so why would we do that if we have safe and effective things that we can use? Now again, we don't have to use them. We can always see how we go. But it's just nice to know that we have tools to help people if they need it, when before we really didn't have a whole bunch other than to tell people, oh, you got to eat less and move more. And that was never an effective strategy. So I think these are some good things. I'm going to look at a couple of these questions. How do these medicines affect others, such as high blood pressure? So most of these medicines are fine with blood pressure, because as your weight comes down, your blood pressure gets better anyway. And the one that was the satiating hormone one doesn't affect your blood pressure at all. The phentermine can sometimes raise some people's blood pressure, so you have to obviously have to monitor them, and you wouldn't put anybody on a blood pressure medicine. Like any of those drugs, if their blood pressure wasn't controlled. So you would go to your doctor, someone who is well versed in doing these things, because you don't want to go to a physician who's not comfortable using these medicines and not knowing what the side effects of these medicines are. So let's see, what does this say? So you would want to make sure you use somebody, go to a physician who is specially trained in obesity medicine. And but there are a lot of, like I said, there are a lot of good things that are on the horizon. There are a lot of good things that are out now, and then there are some more things that are coming. So, and then we didn't even talk about surgical options, and we'll pick another day to talk about some of the surgical options, the ones you know about. But then there are other ones that are minimally invasive that are either out or on the horizon as well. So there's a lot of things, tools that we now have that we can use to help you get to a healthier weight. So I just want to always end by saying, make sure you let people know about our Monday Lives. Make sure, I got to tell you something too at the end, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you tell people about our Monday Lives. Make sure you pick up the NGW book if you haven't already, and read it. If you have questions, let me know. And make sure you join our, you let people know, like I said, about this. Join our YouTube page, either Dr. Remy Hunt or the No Guesswork YouTube page, or both. And then share the video. Share the video with as many people as you think would be interested in the topic. And I don't know if I can say this now, but we're going to be on TV on Thursday. Me and the guys, the three doctors, if you know our story, on Thursday morning. And it should be really, really interesting. It's going to be fun. So I'll put something up on my page to let you guys know we're going to be on a talk show. And that's all I guess I can say. So we'll leave it at that. So you guys have a great Monday night and enjoy your week. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye.